Florida's home to two subspecies of wild turkeys, the eastern and the Osceola. The eastern wild turkey occurs in the northern Florida and the Panhandle and throughout the eastern United States. The Osceola wild turkey is also known as the Florida wild turkey because it only occurs in the Florida Peninsula. Because of that, people from across the country come to Florida to try and harvest a wild turkey. And thanks to conservative harvest regulations and good management, there are plenty of wild turkeys in Florida for people to enjoy. But that wasn't always the case. In fact, wild turkeys are a real conservation success story. Due to unregulated hunting and habitat destruction, wild turkeys were nearly wiped out across the United States in the early 1900s. Even here in Florida, wild turkey numbers reached really low points. Agencies like the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, with conservation partners including the National Wild Turkey Federation, work together to restore wild turkey numbers. And today, they are abundant and healthy. But good management and good habitat are still key to their success. Most people are familiar with what a domestic turkey looks like, and even though they're derived from wild turkeys look distinctly different in appearance. While some breeds of domestic turkeys still maintain similar coloration, they've been bred over generations for big, meaty bodies. In contrast, wild turkeys are much leaner and lighter in weight. Their legs are longer and thinner, and the fleshy parts of their head, the parts we call wattles and caruncles, are much reduced. Another difference with wild turkeys is that they can fly, which allows them to roost at night in trees, and if they can't run fast enough to get away from a predator, they can always fly. Even though wild turkeys are strong flyers, they still nest on the ground and spend most of their time there. In midday, they're often seen just loafing in the shade, but otherwise, they're usually on the move, searching for acorns, seeds, leaves, insects, and even small lizards and frogs. They eat such a wide variety of food that they never go hungry here in Florida, and there's really never any need to feed them. Wild turkeys are also social animals and are generally found in flocks of a few individuals to 20 or more. They form a pecking order within the flock, and it's a real treat if you're out hiking or bird watching and get to see them fighting and chasing each other to establish dominance. But they're just cool to see anytime you're out in the woods. Just about everything in the woods wants to eat a wild turkey, so they're extremely wary. They have incredible eyesight and excellent hearing, so hunting them is a real challenge. The common approach to spring turkey hunting is for the hunter to make sounds that are like what the hen turkey would make to try and draw the male turkey or the gobbler in close to them. Hunters will use a variety of calling devices, including box calls, pot calls, diaphragm, or what we call mouth calls, to imitate the calls that a hen would make, including clucking and yelping. Two of the most frequent and basic calls that a hen turkey would make. And if you're good, or at least lucky, you get the thrill of hearing a gobbler as he's coming in, strutting and gobbling, looking for that hen that he can hear. And if you're fortunate enough to harvest a bird, you get to take home a healthy and delicious meal.